My dudes, what's happening, man? This is Trent, and as you know, on my channel, I want to do everything I can to help out young artists. I know a lot of you guys ain't got exactly a lot of excess cash, and sometimes drawing equipment can be very expensive. Now, my friends at XP Pen have always been sending me tablets to review, and I told them, listen, no more tablets. At one point, I was like, no more tablets until you got something really special. They reached out to my agency, who reached out to their agency, who got the president of XP Pen, Mr. XP himself, on the phone with me, and he says, listen, I got something special. I got the Innovator 16. I want you to do what you can to give an honest review on your YouTube channel. I said, that's what I do. I only do the honest reviews. So that's what you're gonna get. This thing is interesting. It is exciting. This is a big leap, I would say. And I wanna do a thorough breakdown, a little less on the unboxing, a little bit more on the performance, because that's what we really care about. We want good performance for a good price point. And man, this thing is sweet. Let me tell you right out of the gate, but it does have a few issues. We're gonna talk about those things. All right, let's do it. Okay, first things first, I love getting a package in the mail from XP Pen. Presentation makes you feel good, even when you first open this thing up. But what you're seeing here is a device I've been using for about a week. I've simulated the box opening. You can sort of vicariously get the experience. Look at how thin this thing is, and it is very lightweight. I'm gonna throw some stats at you while I'm talking about this. It's 9 millimeters thick. Screen size is 15.6 inches. Along the side, we have the power button, we have brightness control, which is strange, and the USB-C out, which goes to the HDMI. The quick keys are here too, which you can program to do all sorts of things. We'll talk about that later. The stand. Now, this is one of the things that's the first point that some people are gonna have a problem with this. Now, it is sturdy, it is stable, but it is plastic, so it's not gonna have a lot of range of elevations. It pretty much sits at about a 32-degree angle, and it's not gonna move beyond that. And for those of you who aren't living in the Savage Lands, we've also got all these power adapters and such. Every XP Pen I remember comes with this cylinder, and inside you've got replacement nibs on one end, and then you flip it around, and that's where you got your pen. Now the pen itself, really high quality, very lightweight. I tried to get in very close here so you can see. This is a quality pen. It feels much lighter than what you might be used to from some of their competitors. The two buttons on the rubber pad part are really essential for switching brushes or switching to eraser. Digging deeper into the box, we're gonna find all kinds of extra parts and such, including, oh my God, a pro glove. Oh yeah, put it on nice and slow now. It's a little known fact that the Pro Glove makes you 24.5% more professional. I wear mine everywhere I go, just to let them know that I'm pro. Other items that you're gonna find in your box here are gonna be your warranties, and oh, you know, this is kind of neat. You know, they give you some postcards, some nifty little postcards. You know, that's the thing about getting an XP Pen in the mail. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. It's just fun, it's exciting. This isn't like hanging out at your grandparents' place where he just smokes cigarettes and talks about the good old days before politics. No, man, we're gonna be drawing hamsters and whatever this thing is. I think it's a fox or something. This is their character, Phoenix. You're gonna get some other stuff here too, like some temporary tattoos, a pen, and some kind of a baby wipes for your screen here. That's just kind of nice. Treat that with some respect and fold it up nicely there. And the last part is this cable, which is a USB-C basically, and that's going to plug into the device itself. And then you got these three other cables. You have the power supply for the monitor, USB for the pen input device, and then you have the HDMI input. Now, if you have a modern MacBook, you're going to need a couple other things like a USB to USB-C adapter, and I got this handy little device that is used to convert the HDMI signal into a USB-C. You only need these if you're on a modern MacBook Pro, but I'll put a link to them in the description below the video. There are some other things that you get in the box for their big anniversary thing, but we're here to talk about the tablet. We're here to talk about the Innovator 16, so let's dig into the device itself. Let's just zip through the setup here and get right to the good stuff. Now, with every one of these tablets, people inevitably always ask, you know, it'll be a $50 tablet and people will ask, do I need a computer with this? Yes, you need a computer with this. It's a secondary display that has the ability for you to draw on the screen. You have to think of it like it's a second monitor, which means you have to go in and set the monitor to mirror, or you can have the orientation so it's basically a second screen display. It is not an all-encompassing self-contained computer. That would be ridiculous for this price point. Lastly, you have to download the XP Pen drivers to your computer, do the setup for pressure sensitivity, put on your handy Pro Glove, and now we're ready to draw. Oh yeah. Now in the software, you're gonna have to adjust the firmness of it. If you're coming from a Wacom, for instance, everything's very firm with a Wacom. With this, you're gonna feel it almost like 10% more springy, but you get a really good pressure range. In fact, that's coming in at 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, baby. That's pretty much the industry standard. From the software, you can also change what these quick keys do on the side of the screen, also an industry standard. So a few things to note about the stand itself. First of all, the device itself is very light, it's very portable. You could sit with this on your lap if you were chilling on the couch. It's very lightweight, it's very portable. It feels about like you're drawing on a really large iPad or something like that. And it's really good for if you wanted to take it to like a cafe or jump on a plane, do some traveling, that sort of a thing, if that's your concern. However, I tried to stuff it into like a backpack. It ain't fitting too comfortably. It's just like 1 or 2 inches too big for that. Let's talk about most people's concern, which is going to be the stand. Despite the fact that it's plastic, it's actually really stable. I think that's because of these rubber pads that you have on the back here. But I wouldn't say that it's like the preferable option. There are other stands though, however, that you can get, like this one that I got for about $50 on Amazon, which is a handy option if you want the flexibility of being able to use this as a second monitor that sits more upright, which you cannot do with the stand that this thing comes with. Drawing on the Innovator 16 is a lot of fun. If you are used to working more traditionally, or maybe you draw comic books or something like that. I have a lot of friends who draw comic books and they're like, I can't make the leap to digital. It's just too much of a jump and it's expensive. Like there's just too many barriers of entry. So with something like this, it's in a very affordable price range. And what you're seeing is basically the same way that I would draw out like line art on paper, but I'm screen capturing it as well. So you're getting this full digital experience with all of the benefits of something that you would get from drawing on paper, for example. Now you're going to notice I don't even use the quick keys because I'm just so comfortable with the traditional keyboard. I know Photoshop inside and out at this point after 20 years of using it. So as a personal preference, I like to use the traditional keyboard. You don't have to do it my way, man. That's just like how I do it because I find it's fast. If you want to use the quick keys on the device itself, you could technically just use this as a primary monitor and a primary drawing device. The screen does have a non-glare kind of film on it, which is nice because it's just not like super slick and glossy. As you can tell, I'm not particularly technical about these things, but I'm going to put the specs up on screen here so that you can evaluate it. If you know more about these things, these numbers might mean more to you than me, but I can tell you that in terms of brightness, pretty damn solid, pretty good. Viewing angle, really good. This is a high-end display and very firm. It doesn't have like a cheap feeling to the screen. When you press on it, it doesn't sink in at all. It feels very firm and solid, like as if you're drawing on a tablet or piece of glass. As some folks in the Discord were asking if there is a wireless option, and no, there is not. In 2020, there is no wireless display for any type of computer. And as previously mentioned, this is not a standalone device. It acts as a monitor that happens to have the same technology that you find in a tablet device. How does the resolution stack up against its competitors? Well, it's 1920 by 1080, which is pretty good for its screen size. It's not 4K, but I'll tell you, I never saw any pixels. Whereas my old Cintiq from just 2 years ago was about the same resolution, but bigger, and I can't even use it because I see the pixels. Is there any lag on the pen? No, but I'm also running a 2019 MacBook Pro, and this has more to do with your processor on your computer than it does on the display itself. Will it fit in a backpack? Probably not, unless if it's slightly oversized backpack. Does it have a lefty mode? Yes, you can flip it upside down, and in the software you can set it for lefty mode. Concerns. Okay, this is the big one. There's this big USB-C plug-in on the side that goes to your HDMI, and that I've read a few other reviews from other people, and it breaks, and it's just not as sturdy or firm as it should be. I don't know what it is, but nobody gets this right anymore. Back in the early 2000s, you just get a wired device. I don't need something that I can unplug and plug back in. It causes too many problems, and that USB connector almost always breaks. This is a message to you, Wacom. This is a message to XP Pen. This is a message to anybody making a tablet. Just don't even bother with that. Just make it a wired freaking device. You gotta have a wire anyway. All right, so who is this tablet for? For the most part, I would normally say something in this price range is like a beginner tablet, but I actually think that this would be a really good tablet for professionals as well. Now, I would not have any hesitation to recommend this to anybody who's a professional comic book artist who's thinking they want to transition into doing more digital work. The second thing I'd say is that this is a professional level tablet because of the levels of pressure sensitivity and the resolution. Really nice. I've been working on something like this, which doesn't even have a display, for a long time now, pretty much the last, I'd say 5 or 6 years. But now I would absolutely, most certainly 100% say, like, if this is within your budget, which right now it's on sale, if this is within your budget, dude, the best XP pen that I've used to date by far, and because of the lightweight portability of it, I feel like this is one that's gonna replace my old Intuos that I was using. It's firm, it's fast, it's got really nice colors on it, really nice display itself, great in the evenings. Direct competitors for this product are going to be the iPad Pro, but that's coming in at about $1,500 to $2,000 plus the Apple Pencil. So, and that's a self-contained device. I've also seen the Wacom 16, which is, I would say, the most direct competitor to this because that's a second display with the pen tablet functionality. So that's probably the most direct comparison, but I've never tried that one before. And it's also a little bit more pricey as well, which Wacom products almost always are. They want to go for that more premium price point, but XP Pen is really giving them a good run for their money. And especially with what they're doing now, I used to have driver conflicts. I didn't have any driver conflicts with this one at all. I am also going to be reviewing the 24-inch beast that's still in the wrapping paper to compare and contrast and see how this one stacks up. It's a little bit, it's a bit heavier. If you picked one of these up, please let me know what you think of it in the comments below the video. Stay tuned for that Artist 24 review that I got coming up in the next couple of weeks. So dudes, if you like my artwork and you're curious what I do a lot of tutorials here on my YouTube channel. I also write and illustrate illustrated novels and art books. So swing on by any old time. Don't forget to subscribe. And dudes, until next time, I'll catch y'all on Yonder Pond. And ciao, baby. Oh yeah.